This broadcast is a presentation of WCXO Sports. WCXO Sports, powered by the Union Banner at Union Banner on Facebook. Your sports teams, your community, your radio station. Presents Talkin Sports on Max 96.7. Talkin Sports is powered by Anne-Marie Tabin at First Bank in Breeze. Contact Anne-Marie for your mortgage product needs. Talkin Sports is brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. Diane Chevrolet in Trenton. Nordyke Funeral Home with 5 locations to serve your needs. McKendree University in Lebanon. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. Trenton Processing. And by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Here's the host of Talkin Sports, Rip Nottmeyer.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Talkin Sports. Rip here in the Bird Watson Health Mart Studio for your Monday. Coming up, a lot of football this evening. First with Westland Warriors coach Ray Calling, and then it's McKendree Bearcats head coach Mike Babcock. Plus, as always, on a Monday, we have the Body by Boyd Little Augie's Pizza Clinton County Prep Athlete of the Week. But we begin with Scores and Stuff, which shows up courtesy of Mideastern Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning in Carlisle, the hometown source for residential and commercial work. They do it all. And on the Express Lube guest line from St. Louis, Andy Newbold with some ties to this area. Good evening to you, Andy.
Hey, what's going on, Rip?
Welcome back, man. We are jam-packed. Let's start with a little high school football. I know everyone around here knows because they're into it, which is great, but just as a little tune-up, a little reminder, the state pairings, of course, came out Saturday night, and we've got 2 immediate local teams in action this weekend. Friday night in 4A play, it is Central traveling up to Rochester. It's a 7 o'clock kick. And then Saturday afternoon, the Mater Dei Knights host Effingham at 2. Both of those games on Max 96.7. And I know, how many years has it been now, Andy? You were in the playoffs. Was it Bloomington Central Catholic? You might have even played Mater Dei.
Yeah, we played Breeze my sophomore year, so I think it would have been 2000. It's been a while, man. For Bloomington Central Catholic, they, I think, set a record for 0 wins. I don't think they've ever had a 0-win season, or maybe one time. And it's rebuilding time down in Bloomington. Bring
back the Newbold era. You know, I do remember the last time you were on, we were talking about some other sport. I think you said they've hit a few hard times there as far as in the athletic department. But it'll bounce back.
Yeah, it'll bounce back.
But will the Milwaukee Brewers ever get a chance to bounce back? I thought, and I was pulling for them, and they lost in 7. They just can't get that tag done. They cannot make that World Series ever since the Cardinals beat them, right, in 82?
Yep. It was tough, man. I'm not a Dodgers fan at all, so I was going for the Brewers, and I don't know. I don't really have anybody I really care to watch in the World Series. I guess I hope the Red Sox win, but it would have been fun to see the Brewers.
You do have Freeze.
Yeah, that's true.
And he is playing tomorrow night. I don't know if you're a Kershaw fan or not.
A little bit.
He's hard.
Kershaw's a good player.
Yeah. I don't think too many dislike him. I know a lot of them get on his butt for losing to the Cardinals all the time, but I'll still take him on my team. But anyway, as far as I'm concerned, Craig Counsell was the most valuable player for the Dodgers. He was pitiful. If I were the owner of that team, his butt would have been fired before he got out of the dugout Saturday night. The way he ran that pitching staff was a joke. It looked like a first grader was in charge.
Yeah, you're talking about like when he threw the starter 5 pitches and pulled them, and that was weird, very weird.
Well, he absolutely lost one. Hey, LaRussa's done this, not necessarily that tactic, but I mean, he absolutely lost one game, which probably led to at least another loss. He had things so screwed up, it was unbelievable.
Yeah. Because I remember, didn't like La Russa a couple years, like he would start out knowing the starting pitcher would go, 3 or 4 innings, and he had a second, starter kind of lined up coming up. But yeah, sometimes they just confuse themselves and make it, I don't know. I guess
they all want to be so brilliant, and they look
exactly. Yeah,
they look so dumb.
That's exactly what I was about to say. It's almost like they want to be part of the conversation when the win happens, and obviously when the loss comes, it's going to be even more brutal. But
well, I am quite, and it's been this way for quite some time now. And TLR he lost it. I still say he lost more games than he won, and that's really become the mode now. These guys lose more games than they win by 4. Just play it straight, like it's been played for over 125, 130 years, and you'll be okay. Right.
Have faith in your guys. Put your team in the best position possible to win, and let them execute.
Anyway, the Brewers, they had to win their last 2, but after they won Game 6, it was really anybody's game in 7. But the Brew Crew falls short again, and as a 4-3 victory for L.A., and the Red Sox mowed down the Stros in 5 games. That was, I hate the Red Sox, but that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought for sure the Stros would give them a series and maybe even pull it off, but man, Boston's legit.
Oh, they are. 108, and the Red Sox won 103. 2 really strong teams. Well, hey, they got their lift when David Price actually went 6 innings, threw 3-hit ball, and he won the first time he'd ever won a game, and that was in 11 playoff starts, right? Or that was his 12th, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that win alone makes his contract almost worth it at this point. I mean, that was looking like a terrible contract, but I mean, the guy, that's a must win, and he pulled it off, so more power to him.
And he really doesn't seem like a bad guy. I've seen him before on interviews and so forth. I think he just had we'll see if he goes on. He'll pitch Game 2, apparently, and but for all the money, you got to win. I mean, for those getting on Kershaw's butt, it's not even close to this. He's won quite a few games. I say a lot of his struggles have been against the Cardinals in the second season. So anyway, it all starts for real tomorrow night in Boston, Game 1, since we're closing in on November. And who do you have?
I'm going to say Boston in 5.
Boston in 5. I'm going with the Bo Sox in 7. And here's my and here's the reason, because they're both pretty good teams, decent starting pitching, especially if Price comes through, and if Sales passed his belly button injury, whatever he's moping about. I'm giving it to the Red Sox in 7 because flat out, I think Dave Roberts is dumber than Alex Cora. I'm not kidding.
Right.
You remember what he did last year with Rich Hill? He's sailing along to the 4th inning, throwing bullets. He takes them out, and of course they lose that game. It was uncalled for. So I'm giving it to Cora on a little bigger brain. Actually, he's done a really good job.
Yeah. They've weathered the storm, and they are on a roll.
They are. Adam Wainwright. I got to talk to somebody about this one more time. He's back at 37. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I'm 100% with you. As much as I love a good fairy tale ending and all that, I don't know what his role is going to be or should be. And
he's taking a spot of some young player who they all are so high on. That's what he's doing.
Right. The counter I've heard from other people I've had this conversation is, well, look, end of the year we didn't have a fifth starter. He could, I'm like, man, if he's competing for our fifth, starter spot next season, we got, more issues on this team than to begin. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the numbers are in the contract he signed, but I can't imagine giving that guy, more than a couple million a year.
No,
I don't know.
Surely. Maybe you should go up to Milwaukee and pitch. They only have to pitch 2 or 3 innings there for sure.
Exactly. Yeah.
5 pitch, go 1 hit. I tell you what, if they want to keep doing this junk, then take away the starter's pay. We'll see how the players like it then.
Yeah.
I don't think they will too. Okay, the Reds have hired David Bell as their manager, and the new skipper in California with the Angels is Brad Ausmus. So a couple of more, one recycle in Ausmus. I guess this is Bell's first get. Boy, that name's been around Cincinnati forever with his dad and his granddad. And
yeah,
I didn't think Riggleman would be back.
He did a decent
He
job.
did.
I mean, compared to where they're headed, but he's kind of that stopgap manager now. Like, nobody wants to try to build around him or see if he can handle an organization anymore. But Jay Bell seems like the typical Reds manager hire. Like, they'll probably be looking for a new manager in 2 or 3 years.
Oh yeah.
Keep going.
I'm gonna have to poke fun at Rob Raines when I have him on next because he was pretty sure Jim Riggin was going to. I said they're not going to hire him. They're going to go with somebody new, fresh face, and I would have too in this case, whether it be Bell or somebody else. Okay, the Illini they were whipped again. Missouri, Memphis, they routed them, and SIU loses. But let's get to more important stuff like Ole Miss, your team. What's happening there, Andy?
They got probably the worst defensive squad I've ever seen in college football. But they got their. I guess it was a little bit closer than it should have been against Auburn, but they were really never in it. I'll tell you what. Did you watch that Southern Illinois game that we played them probably like about a month ago or 3 or 4 weeks ago?
I did just bits and pieces. SIU, that was the craziest first half I've seen an arena game.
I couldn't even turn the game back on in the second half. I ended up running to parents with my wife, and then I ended up watching the fourth quarter. But the defense, you'd like to say it's scheme, but I just think it's talent. I don't know. I don't think they can beat really an SEC team this year. It'll be interesting to see what happens next year. But the talent drop off at Ole Miss has been unreal this season.
Right. Well, they're under the gun with I don't know what the deal is anymore with the pro base. Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
it's tough. It's tough. We had a couple of guys on from Ole Miss from Nashville Saturday morning doing scores and stuff because, of course, I think I told you before, Royce Newman and so forth. So, in fact, his dad was one of them, and so we had a blast with that. They were down there among a lot of Nashville
fans. He's offensive lineman, right?
Yeah, he's his dad said now he's playing about 15 snaps a game, but he's in back of 2 tackles. One of them is probably going to get a real good he thought would get drafted by the NFL. So, and he has 2 years left after this.
Nice.
Not bad, so.
No.
The NFL, are you following the Packers? I haven't watched. I keep track a little bit, but I'm not figuring on the ratings. I just can't do it.
It's me. I'll tell you this. So I'm a diehard Packer fan.
I know it.
And it is extremely hard to watch the NFL product anymore.
Even without regard to the off the field issues, right?
Yeah,
and the issues on the field with the flag and so. That's what I hear from people who are watching it. They say it's just. And now I've gotten so used to this college. I really, over the last 3 or 4 years, especially since they went that playoff now.
If I didn't have like fantasy football or was playing like DraftKings on it, I don't know if I'd be watching the NFL anymore. Just because every game comes down to who has the ball last, and it's just the penalties. They've taken away the defensive game of it that we all grew up watching. It's not the NFL football you're used to watching, and it's really not a very good product at the end of the day. For instance, the Packers won last week against the 49ers. It was 30-19 with a minute left, and they threw a holding penalty on Sherman Lewis completely away from the ball.
Wow.
It was a penalty, but it's 30-19. You're like, how do you throw that flag? And it keeps the drive going, and we end up kicking the last second field goal to win the game. And it's like, oh my gosh, man, I can't believe we won a game that way. Like, it's just so cheap.
Tell you what, part of this is it's not the same thing, but relative in a way to what went on in baseball in '98 with the steroid thing, McGuire, Sosa home runs. They're looking just for strictly offense to bring the fans back, and a bunch of people are like you to a large share. They're not watching to win. They're checking out their fantasy. They could care less who wins. It's all about betting and the what do you call it? The fantasy football too. And otherwise, just the straight bets, whatever they are. That's what the NFL's become.
You're right, though. It is kind of reminding me of '98 baseball when it just any game was within striking distance because you had a home run hitter on deck or in the hole, and that's kind of what it's like with the NFL. It's weird. Yeah, there's so many things off the field and everything else you could complain about and make a reason not to watch. But really, the on-field product. I think I read a stat and it said every NFL quarterback besides Allen for the Buffalo Bills has like a QB rating that would be above average or some parents like, oh my gosh, that's not right.
Could you imagine Marino and
Yeah.
my goodness, some of Jim, you name it, tons of them. What they would. Hey, the Blues won. We'll see if they can go for 2 in a row tonight. The Winnipeg Jets they're a mighty fine hockey team.
What's the Blues record? I haven't really been paying
well,
a lot of attention.
They only have the 2 wins. They're saddled in last place in the Central very early, 6 points. But that division and that conference is so tough. You don't want to trail by too many too early.
Right? Who's in first? Is Chicago doing good?
No, they're not doing much. They're at 500. Nashville is rolling right now, 7-1.
Yeah.
But Colorado and the Jets, Minnesota, they're all there. That's going to be quite a race. And the Blues, they don't want to miss out on the playoffs 2 years in a row.
I was going to say they better pull it together quickly because you don't want to fall far behind this early.
No. So these games do mean something. What's wrong with the Porter family, man? I mean, injuries. Jonte, what's up with this closed exhibition, too? That was kind of weird. But anyway, Jonte.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, Jonte Porter is probably out for the season unless he follows his brother's path and comes back, plays a game or 2 at the end if he can. But ligament damage, 2 ligaments gone, his right knee.
Yeah, that's not good. One of my buddies that's a diehard Mizzou fan, I was texting with him last night, and he is beside himself. Yeah, I didn't realize all the bad luck that Porter family has with injuries. That stinks because it sounds like a lot of good, talented players there. But yeah, I don't know. Injuries stink. I guess it's part of the game. But yeah, that's gonna be a tough one to bounce back.
That whole
from.
family though, Michael Porter. I mean, he still hasn't played in the pros because he had a second back surgery, and then their 2 sisters were playing at Mizzou. And both of them had tons of knee injuries. One of them didn't even finish her last year. They better start drinking some beer and eating some steak.
Yeah, there's something, man. I mean, that's just bad luck, I guess. But that stinks.
I don't get that either. Hey, would you go to a soccer match in St. Louis if they did come up with this? They'll probably screw it up again, or they won't get one in it, or they just purely won't get one.
I would definitely check it out.
I would go.
I didn't. Yeah, I would check one out. If it was fun, I'd go again. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the atmosphere would be cool around the stadium and all, especially early on when they really draw fans. But surely they'll mess it up.
I tell you what this town needs is an XFL, WWE Vince McMahon football team.
But isn't the NFL coming back again? The Chargers? What's the deal with that talk?
You know what? There's absolutely no way.
No way.
I was reading something that said they're already selling, suites and advertisements based off a 20-game home schedule. So their 20-year contract. So there's no way if the Chargers bailed on that, there would be lawsuits and a lot of money going back.
It's all wacko. Brooks Koepka won again. So did Danielle Kong and Woody Austin and Chase Elliott. Bill's kid must be pretty good at this racing thing. He won again. That's twice, maybe in 3 or 4 weeks on the NASCAR circuit. They got their playoff run going. I think just maybe about 4 races left. That's kind of cool. I don't watch it, but just see the highlights on that too. But I like the playoff thing, which they've had for a while now. You got to have that.
Yeah, it makes you at least pay attention to it. You're right. Yeah. I'm the same way. Like I follow it when I see it in the newspaper or the sports news. Something I keep an eye on. Hell, yeah, I don't sit through an entire thing, but it's getting there. It's getting entertaining.
Yeah. Well, I've always been told, which is true, you need to go in person, which I never have. And I used to tell people about, and I still do, about hockey too. It's a lot better on TV now, though, with all the cameras and angles. But years ago, you had 2 or 3. It couldn't pick up much of anything, really. But now it's a lot better. You still better see hockey in person too. But
yeah.
All right, Andy. Hey, appreciate it. Say hello to the fam, that growing family.
I will do, man. Good talking to you.
All right, thank you.
See you, buddy.
Andy Newbold from St. Louis on Scores and Stuff. Brought to you by Mideastern Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning right here in the seat of Clinton County. Carlisle is the hometown source for residential and commercial work. Ray calling ahead, as is Mike Babcock and the Athlete of the Week. Don't go nowhere. Need insurance? Insurance you can really count on? If so, turn to Dan Imming at Imming Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Dan and his staff will provide you with the insurance coverage and service you deserve. Whether it's auto, home, life, health, or commercial, your choices aren't limited either. Imming Insurance Agency represents many outstanding companies, so get covered by the best. Call Eming Insurance Agency at 594-4536 or stop by 589 9th Street in Carlisle. Eming Insurance Agency, a proud supporter of Clinton County sports. Farmers State Bank is dedicated to the communities they serve. They've been making home loans for over 100 years. They are and will continue to be a strong, steady, common-sense leader that's always focused on what's best for you and the community. And remember, Farmers State Bank has loan professionals standing by to assist you in making the right decision for your needs. That's Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. An equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 404955.
Seaver Brothers has what you're looking for. Take a spin with Seaver Brothers and drive home in your new or pre-owned Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge truck today. Let Seaver Brothers give you the car buying experience that no other dealership can offer. Seaver Brothers stands behind their products and also has an outstanding service department with qualified technicians to keep your vehicles running strong. Stop by Seaver Brothers, 811 Washington Street in Carlisle, or call 594-2624 for your next Seaver Brothers sales associate.
Nordyke Funeral Home is thinking about your future and offers secure, pre-planned funeral arrangements, relieving the emotional burden for those you love, allowing you to express your own wishes, and assures peace of mind with financial concerns when your family needs it the most. Nordyke Funeral Home has 5 locations in Albers, Aveston, Breeze, New Baden, and now Carlisle. Visit NordikeFuneralHome.com or call 588-3533. Striving to earn your family's confidence and trust, Nordyke Funeral Home with 5 locations.
I'd like to start a campaign to blow the buttons off people's radios. Is that realistic?
This is Max 96.7.
Hello again, everybody. Rip here in the Bird Watson Health Mart studio, bringing you some sports again every Monday and Wednesday, 6 until 7, and Saturday mornings, 9 until 10. We can't book Ray calling right yet, not quite yet. We're trying and we're trying and we're trying. In the meanwhile, we're going to do a little, we'll call an audible. We'll go to the Athlete of the Week.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met.
The Clinton County Prep Athlete of the Week is brought to you by Body by Boyd in Carlisle. Your complete gym and physical fitness center is Body by Boyd. And by Little Augie's Pizza in Breeze, the choice for pizza, pasta, and more. Call 526-7040.
Thank you much, Mel. Okay, and our Athlete of the Week is Justin Mumford. Yes, indeed, the Westland Warriors cross-country runner. He's a sophomore. He notched a sectional berth by tracing second in the 1A Freeburg Regional, and he flared a time of just 16 minutes, 12 seconds. The Warriors wound up 6th as a team at Freeburg with 191 points. Central was just a notch above at 5th with 171. Of course, a few other area squads and individual Harriers did quite well, too, in boys and girls action. Sectional competition is this Saturday. But anyway, our Athlete of the Week is Westland Warriors Harrier Justin Mumford, and he will gather up a $10 gift certificate to Little Augie's Pizza in Breeze. Congrats to him. We'll take a break and come on back with Ray, maybe Mike. We'll see how it spans out. Stay tuned. This is Talkin Sports for Monday.
Easy and Travel and Breeze and Holland American Line present On Stage Alaska, an exhilarating live performance and film presentation on Tuesday, October 23rd at Knotty Pine in Breeze. For reservations, call Easy and Travel now at 526-2201. Don't miss this refreshing, different travel show or the opportunity for the bonus travel benefits it offers. Due to limited seating, reservations are required. Call 526-2201.
If you're in need of a quality meat processing plant, there's just one place to turn: Trenton Processing. For nearly 50 years, this family-owned and operated business has served Clinton County and beyond, for good reason, too. Trenton Processing offers the very best in retail and wholesale products, custom butchering, deer processing, and plenty more, including specialty pet items. Trenton Processing at 120 West Broadway in Trenton, the home of Sugar Creek Smoked Meats.
Moving forward requires taking that first step. And when it comes to your future, your first step should be Kaskaskia College. With more than 50 degrees and 100 certificate programs, Kaskaskia College can prepare you for a great career, your next promotion, or set you on your educational path. Life is too short to wait. Take your first step to success with Kaskaskia College. Learn more today. Call 545-3040 or kaskaskia.edu.
Your future is now with Central Illinois Truck Service. Hi, this is Perry Stanford. We are looking for new team members, over-the-road hopper bottom and in-dump drivers, plus diesel mechanics. Apply today. Central Illinois Truck Service offers excellent paid health benefits, a good, stable, family-owned company. To apply, call Eva now at 664-2646 or stop by Central Illinois Truck Service, 1713 East Bowman Drive, Greenville, Illinois.
Flying in the face of conventional wisdom.
There's no rules and no laws and lots of litter.
Every day.
This is Max 96.7.
Welcome back, everyone. Rip here in the Bird Watson Health March studio, where your time is 6:27, nearly right on the button there. That time drop is brought to you by Siren Funeral Home in Carlisle. Let's test the Express Lube guest line another time. It's off we go for Westland Warriors football coach Ray Calling. Ray, welcome back.
Hey, thanks, Rip. Thanks for having me on this evening.
You had a long day of meetings, huh?
Yeah, it was a long day.
The athletic directors got together. The important thing, you got it figured out, huh? Is that the deal?
Well, let's hope so.
Okay. Well, you sure had it figured out on the grid Saturday afternoon. It's a good return to Talkin Sports for you. You dialed up the Indians 47-6 at Lawrenceville. That was good to see.
Yeah, it was a good way to end the year. You know, the kids had a lot of fun with that one. It was a good bookend wins. You know, win with one front, win at the back. Hopefully, you know, we just wanted to see a few more in between, but we understand that's the way it goes.
They scored first. I'm not sure how early in the game, but then you reeled off the next 47 points.
Yeah, they scored. I think it was their first drive. It took us a little while to get started after that long bus ride. Our kids I guess, aren't used to that long of a bus ride. We tried to break it up a little bit, but it seemed not to matter. We just weren't quite ready when the first ball was kicked off, and it took us a little bit. But once we got our bearings, you know, we got our feet underneath us a little bit, we performed the way we should.
Yeah, you corrected it in a hurry. Hey, what kind of a field, stadium is it over at Lawrenceville? Pretty nice?
It's a beautiful facility.
Really?
Yeah, it's like an oil guy over there donated, I think, $3 million to build the whole facility. So there's a 8-lane track, turf field, jumbotron, you know, press box. It's all out there. There's a nice block building that is their concession stand. There's a nice building that is locker rooms, training room. You know,
my goodness,
it's a really nice facility.
Okay, so that's a little upgrade from the past, which, as I remember, was fine.
Yeah,
but we're talking years ago.
We actually drove by.
Did you?
We got into town a little early and drove by the old place just to see what it would look like. And yeah, it's a lot different than the old place.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got the victory, and it turned out to be an easy one, 47-6. So most, if not all, of your offense was set in motion, wasn't it, Ray? Was Brant Goings in good form? He all back feeling well and so forth?
Yeah, he had a nice game. I don't really remember what kind of yardage he had, but he had a touchdown run. Jamie Cottonbracker had a couple touchdown runs. Gavin Bobruck had a couple touchdown runs, and Alex Peterson had a touchdown run as well.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, everybody got into the act, and obviously, when you only give up 7 points in the contest, they held strong too.
Yeah, our defense played pretty well. You know, tried guys like Travis Woodall, Noah Marler, and Alex Peterson. Again, defensively, those guys played pretty well for us.
Yeah, it's great to see a plan come together, isn't it, Ray? And you know all about it. I mean, you put in so much work during the week.
Yeah, it was good for our kids.
Yeah, especially sweet for the seniors, everybody, but especially for them, because this is it for their prep careers. Maybe in all cases, their football careers. I'm not sure, but how many seniors or roughly do you have on the team, Ray?
14 seniors.
14. You know what makes it even tougher? Had they not went, because last year they were all around for that real successful year. So I mean, it was tough coming out there every week, and not necessarily having a great chance every game. Boy, you go 9-1 into the playoffs. Well, finished as a playoff team at 9-1 last year and undefeated in the conference. So it's tough, but you got to give them credit. They went out there, practiced hard, played hard, and so to cap it off with a victory is good.
Yeah, that's what I told them after the game. I know that the wins and losses aren't necessarily what we all wanted going into the year, but I was very proud of them. They came out every day ready to work and try to learn and get better. And like I said, I told them I was very appreciative of their effort all year long.
The club ends up at 0-6 and 2-7, but you were beset by some injuries to some key people. I think the O-line, which that's all very important, but and then the lack of depth that comes into play for schools like Westland, a lot of schools around here, really.
Yeah, it's a tough thing, and we were walking out to the game the last 3 weeks here or so, and to see what was the interior three of your offensive line walking out there without their pads on because they were injured, that makes it a little tougher go. Because then, like you said, you don't have the depth, and you got to steal another guy from the defensive side of the ball that wasn't having to play both ways, that wouldn't have to get as tired as he did. But we knew that was the hand we were dealt, and when guys get hurt, that's just what we have to do. We have to take care of ourselves and go play.
Brant Goings, of course, and we mentioned him and Bill Bruck earlier and stuff, but they are two of your players who had the best seasons overall for you. I know Brant, I guess, did he just miss the one game? Did he miss a game?
Yeah, he missed one game. Gavin, I don't think really missed a game per se, but he was banged up the last 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah. He actually got injured basically on the first play of the game Saturday afternoon, and then by halftime he was able to basically gut through it a little bit, and he played pretty well in the third quarter, and then so he got him some good carries as the game went on there. But
and it went.
It was it was an ankle injury, and it's one of those things that when the pain subsides a little bit, you can try to play again, and that's basically what he was trying to do.
So it was Bill Bruck and Goings 1-2 for the year in yards rushing and touchdowns out of that backfield too. It looks like Bill Bruck approached 8. I got him, or 10. I got him for 8. I'm not sure if that's quite right, but good player.
Yeah, we haven't updated the stats in the last 2 weeks or so. So whatever you've got, it doesn't have Saturday, and it doesn't have the Central game on it either. So.
Yeah. And as far as your defense for the season, Ray, was there a standout or two? Again, you were a little shy there.
Noah Marler was our leading tackler throughout the year. He played middle linebacker for us. He's a senior. We'll obviously miss him. And, Grant Heyer had a nice year defensively for us. Some other guys as well, but those are the primary guys that would have more of the stats probably.
You still have some key players returning for 2019. We're a year ahead, but you're always thinking about that as a coach for sure.
Oh yeah, and we've got some guys that are going to be back next year, and some guys that after get some time off here, get healthy, that'll be able to join us in the weight room, and that's really where it's going to start here now. A couple weeks here, we get started in the off-season program, and it's all about getting bigger, faster, stronger, and mentally more prepared to play what has turned into a different type of game out in high school football than it used to be. With the spread offense and understanding the game a little bit, and we know that's one of the things we got to teach.
It's made a transition, hasn't it? The game as a whole.
It has. There's a lot more of the game is played in space rather than right up there in that phone booth out there.
So everybody who is not playing basketball, you're going to try and bunch up the rest. Then in the spring, of course, you have baseball and track, which is excellent for football.
Absolutely. And Coach Murphy, one of my assistants, he's our head track coach, and I know he does a great job. So we're going to obviously push our kids to get out there and track and get active, and then try to work on some things to get themselves ready.
Is he or you, Ray, in charge of the weight training too? Who's
It's a group effort.
Okay.
I mean, he teaches it during the day, but it's pretty much going to be a group effort.
The freshmen and sophomores, those who didn't see any action on the varsity, and I know you probably had to tilt a few up, but what's the talent base look like there? And I understand, I think you might have said it or someone did, so we'll see. Does it look like you'll have quite a few freshmen to draw, incoming freshmen to draw from when the new school season starts?
It looks like we will have a good number of freshmen. We were able to start a youth football junior warrior program basically, and between, the kids who are in that group, and we know there's some kids that are playing, have played at Aviston or played, the Mater Dei League there, the Clinton County League, I should say, that's played at Mater Dei on Saturday mornings. And I think we got a couple of kids playing at Muscuda and 1 or 2 at Highland yet. So we think we could have anywhere, hopefully between 15 and 19 freshmen next year would be an outstanding number for us to get started with.
Oh, that would be a big boon. It really, really would. The Cahokia Conference in its entirety, 4 teams out of that league off and rolling for the playoffs. So the conference is well represented.
Yeah, and I'd like to wish all those guys the best of luck. They're carrying the banner now, and hopefully they can win a couple games here and get a couple rounds deep for us. And we're obviously going to have one team into the second round with Freeburg and Columbia playing each other.
Yeah.
But good luck to Salem and Central as they go on the road.
Central's got that haul to Rochester, and Salem has to go up to Oh, my goodness, that's a long trail up there. I remember going up there before.
Yeah, but they know that path. That used to be a conference.
They do. I know. That's how I ended up there. My goodness. That was a late night, though. And that's with no stops on the way home, Ray.
Right.
But then Mater Dei, of course, you're an alum of Mater Dei and a former coach. They're in the mix, too, as they host Effingham. That's a repeat from game 1, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it should be interesting. Obviously, both teams have changed a lot throughout the course of the season. You're not the same team you were week 1. Nobody is. You adjust and you learn what you do best. And again, hopefully they can play a good ball game. Hopefully they're healthy. I know they've had a number of kids banged up, and hopefully they get those kids back and they can put a good product on the field Saturday. I know they will.
Wow, and you always want your starter, but Reed Brumar, did he light it up Friday night or what? 5 TD pass. I think he's over 300 yards. He was quite successful against Waterloo.
Yeah, that's quite a night.
Yeah, quite a night indeed. All right, Ray. Well, we appreciate you coming on tonight and another time or two during the season. And, of course, on the pregame shows all the time. It's going to be better next year, and we'll talk to you, if not before, we'll talk to you next fall or next early fall.
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot, Rip, for everything throughout the season.
Appreciate it. We'll see you.
Okay, bye.
Ray Colling of the Westland Football Warriors on Talkin. We knew we'd nab him, and we still have one more guest to come. He's the McHenry Bearcats coach, in Mike Babcock. A timeout is due, though, now. And then we're going to return, almost in a flash. Pay attention. Now come on back with us on Talkin Sports for a Monday night. McHenry University is a great place to continue your sports career. It's also a great place to continue your education. McHenry offers a wide range of degrees, including master's degrees in business, nursing, education, and professional counseling. If you'd like, you can access McHenry's quality education through the flexibility of online degrees. To learn more about McHenry, log on to McHenryOnline.com or call 1-800-BEARCAT. McHenry University is ready when you are.
Diane Chevrolet in Trenton is your exclusive SCA performance dealer. SCA is world-renowned for building the best lifted trucks you'll find anywhere. The 2018 Black Widow Silverado is on the lot and ready to go. This truck is as unique as you and comes equipped with Black Widow lighting, 6-inch lift kit, 20-inch black wheels, and more. See Dwayne, Nikki, or Dave for all the details. Or visit DianeChevrolet.com. This broadcast is a presentation of WCXO Sports. WCXO Sports is brought to you by the Benoff Insurance Agency in Breeze and Trenton, HSHS St. Joseph Hospital, Breeze, Breeze Dental Care, K&J Chevrolet, Reverman Chiropractic and Spinal Rehabilitation and Breeze Motor Sales, Southern Bus and Mobility, Kaskaskia College, the First National Bank of Carlisle, Reekman Brothers John Deere, Southern OBGYN Associates, Med Plus Physical Medicine and Brett's Wildlife Lodge, State Farm Insurance Agent Steve Klosterman, Central Illinois Truck Service, Breeze Family Vision, Tempo Bank, Country Financial representatives Keith Wilkin and Teresa Richards, and by the Carlisle and Breeze Hardys. WCXO Sports, powered by the Union Banner at Union Banner on Facebook. Your sports teams, your community, your radio station.
Scientists say the universe is random. Why should your radio station be any different?
You've got Max 96.7.
Sports fans, welcome back into the Bird Watson Health Mart studio on a Monday. Wednesday night, we're blank for now, and Saturday, most likely, St. Louis Cardinals bullpen coach Brian Everskird. So we'll get everything slated here for Wednesday and Saturday, and well, a lot of things planned, plus the good old usual, the staples, all of the local coaches, high school, and more. Isaac Rental Property. They're right on, too. They say we're headed for the stretch drive on Talkin Sports, and we are. Coming up, it's Mike Babcock on Talkin Sports. Check out this October price at Munkin Nissan in Centralia. You can drive off with a 2018 Nissan Altima 1N4AL3 APOJC 265922 for just $18,931. That's over $5,800 off MSRP. For more, visit munkinnissan.com.
From our family to yours, with guaranteed satisfaction. Munkin's the one. Munkin's the one.
Southern Bus and Mobility is your Bronability dealer in Breeze. Southern Bus and Mobility stocks the most popular wheelchair-accessible vans from Bronability, including lowered-floor minivans with side or rear entry ramps. In addition to personal wheelchair vans, Southern Bus and Mobility has a huge line of commercial buses, school buses, and mobility products to buy or rent. They also sell and can install wheelchair scooter lifts, hand controls, and special turning seats. Call 526-4131. Stop by east of Breeze on Old Route 50 or southernbusandmobility.com.
As a business owner, you know that every year brings new challenges and opportunities. The success of your business demands expertise and focus, and Country Financial can help you keep your focus by helping ensure that you have the right insurance protection in place to meet your goals. Teresa Richardson, Keith Wilkin, your Country Financial reps in Breeze, can help you create a customized insurance plan that has coverages designed just for your business. Come see us today at our new location at 617 North Main Street in Breeze.
Hey, it's Bill on the road from Mornings with Scott and Casey. You hear me talking each week about travel, and one of my favorite things about driving across America is finding great food. And lucky for you, Mama's on the Hill in St. Louis is a super easy road trip destination. Authentic Italian favorites like baked lasagna, spaghetti, and tortellini, thin crust St. Louis-style pizza, and yes, Mama's on the Hill is the birthplace of toasted ravioli. Check out their menu online at mamasonthehill.com. Mama's on the Hill, on the Hill in St. Louis.
What were we thinking when we designed the station? I'll tell you. We were thinking it takes all sorts to make a world.
Max 96.7.
Hello, Rip here in the Bird Watson Health Mart studio. Yes, Gertie, it's Saturday looks good right now. That's for sure. They've had a lot of meetings, as you know, a couple of coaching moves and so forth. But we're hopefully all set for Saturday. We'll know shortly enough. But right now, this is what's important as we handle the Express Lube guest line for O'Fallon and McHenry Bearcats football coach Mike Babcock. Mike, welcome back.
Appreciate it, Rip. Glad to be here.
But it's on the tail end of a loss. Apparently, the University of Indianapolis, those Greyhounds, are still going full tilt.
Absolutely. They're a good ball club. I thought that we did have a chance, early on, but at the end of the day, they just, kind of overpowered us and, got a victory for them. So now it's back to the drawing board, 3 more games left, and away we go.
And for those who haven't heard you, or at least recently, even about as far as Indianapolis goes, how many times have they won the conference the last how many years? 3? What?
Well, since I've been here in the 5 seasons, they're about to win it another go around this year. If they win it this year, it'll be 5 out of 6 years.
5 out of 6, and they're rated right around 15th, 16th this season in the nation.
Yep, they're the 15th ranked team in the nation right now.
15 right now, the Greyhounds. They won it 48-10. They had a 31-point lead at the half, and it was just. From the write-up side, it was just big plays throughout, wasn't it? I mean, kick returns, whatever.
It really wasn't our day. I knew that going in, we're just so young on defense, and at one point we're playing 7 either true freshmen or redshirt freshmen, and it was about 25-mile-an-hour winds, so you couldn't throw it more than 2 yards without the ball kind of fluttering around. So
I did see some pictures, Mike, and of some fans on Twitter, and they said the wind was just terrible. So yeah, 25 plus.
It was howling, and so they ended up running it 45 times. I want to say we ran it just about that as well, and we ended up running about 200 yards rushing, but it wasn't enough to keep the score close and try to win it at the end. So like I said, it is what it is, and my hat's off to them. They're a good ball club.
They had a 1-2 punch there, and Clinton and McKellar, they were around 300 yards total. And man, this Clinton guy, a kickoff, 97 yards for a score. Have you seen many flashes like him before? He probably ranks up there, right?
No, and what's funny is that we felt like Al McKellar, who was a freshman All-American last year, he's a sophomore this year, number 4. He's a heck of a running back, and they believe that this Clinton kid's even better than he is. So I mean, these are two, in my opinion, All-American talent, and I'm going to have to see him for the next 2 to 3 years.
Yes,
so,
you are.
Heck of a recruiting deal from them.
Wow. Okay. It was a 14-3 score early. You were in it there in that first quarter, of course, before the Greyhounds sprinted away. And that first field goal, which was a pretty deep kick, wasn't it? How far away, Lazaro?
Yeah, it was a 47-yard field goal for Josh. So it was definitely a long one. He was begging for me to wait till the second quarter so that he could kick it with the wind, and that's what we did actually. Yeah. So we tried to slow it down to make sure we were kicking it. But heck of a deal to get points on the board early, and thought if we could just kind of keep it close. But unfortunately, after a kickoff return for a touchdown and just kind of some sputtering on offense, we weren't able to capture it.
Yeah, the special plays were, a Centralia boy, Caleb Shipley. Yeah, he's no boy, he's a man. But he had quite a fumble recovery. I guess it was actually a muff, and that's what led to that 3 points.
It was. We ended up punting, and punt returner just kind of muffed it, and Caleb's right there, and he's a heck of a cover guy. He did a nice job on that. Even later on in the game on another punt, ended up having a solo tackle on a good punt returner. So he's definitely doing a nice job. And shoot, even this week, I think we might give him a nod on kickoff to go run down there and try and make a play.
I'm sure he'll make a play or 2 or 3. That's for sure, 100%. And he's talented, got some strength and everything else. Hey, there are always, I know it was a tough day, no doubt, but Preston Thompson, for one, I would think you probably will speak kind of highly of him after his outing.
Absolutely. He's one of these senior leaders that we have on offense, and we've got a lot of senior leaders on offense, which is nice, and I think if we're all healthy, throughout the year we've been able to throw it, run it, do a lot of things. But I think the wind played a factor offensively. I think our starting senior quarterback going down, he's been out now for over a game and a half.
Okay, Reese Metcalf.
Yeah,
and he was lighting it up early in the campaign.
Yeah, he was truly having a player of the year type of year kind of going through here. I mean, the numbers were just astronomical, and unfortunately an injury put that away. He's still day to day. There's a chance we could get him back. So obviously that's our hope. With any senior quarterback, you hope that. So, but just kind of unfortunately not being able to go in with all of our horses in the stable to take on the Greyhounds at their place, it just kind of put us in a bad position, and we weren't able to overcome.
Reese Metcalf, another pride of the Mount Carmel, 21 touchdowns, 66% passing, 1,800 yards are right at it, and I don't know how this efficiency is figured out. Sometime you can explain that to me, but 169.8, I know that's good on the system.
Yeah, he's done a nice job. I think our receivers and tight ends have done a nice job of helping with that. Both of them are extremely good. My favorite thing is the completion percentage, and then also the touchdown to interception ratio.
True.
He's got a bunch of touchdowns, but only 2 interceptions. So he's doing right with the ball. He knows where to go with it. That's what you expect out of a senior quarterback. And so like I said, just hope to get him back for the last couple games.
But you're right. That's big. That stat you just threw. It's like the strike to walkout ratio in baseball, and it's something to follow there. And then Thompson on the year, 800 yards, about 6 a carry. Johnson 2. You got the guys, man. It just you almost have to have everybody at full strength against Indy, though. It's just you've seen enough of them.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what it is. We talked about it today, and obviously it was a depressing day. Now kind of sobering up to the fact of what happened in the game, and really it's being able to practice and play like champions. It's not just one play here and there. It's an off season. It's summer conditioning. It's
true
everything to get to that point to be able to take on those guys, and that's what a top 25 team should look like. And so, if we want to be there, if we want to be a top 25, we got to be able to practice during the season and in the off season to prepare ourselves like that. So we just, unfortunately, we're still so young in some positions that we just haven't figured that out yet.
You still bagged your previous game at Missouri, in Missouri against Southwest Baptist, 26-23. You tell me, was that a comeback or a rally involved there, or? Yeah,
we were down 17-0.
Okay.
Our quarterback got it first quarter, so he was out for the rest of the game, and slowly but surely we just kind of started making our way back, and we we tied the game up with less than a minute to go from a strike, from our backup quarterback to our top receiver, and we were able to get it into overtime. Our defense stuffed them and let them only kick a field goal, and we were able to, about on 3 or 4 plays, just run right down and score a touchdown, and that was the ball game. And
that backup is Antonio Triplett?
Yeah, Antonio Triplett. He's from St. Louis. Young guy. He's a redshirt freshman. And, like I said, we're just really young at that position. I mean, the guy next to him is a true freshman. And, whether or not he should play or not, it's one of those, do you try to save a red shirt or not? So it is what it is, and Antonio's got the nod. So hopefully we can keep it going. He can get better and have a better chance of scoring more points.
Now, am I wrong on that? I thought that was a 4-game thing, Mike, or not, on the red shirt to decide or not. That's not the case?
That's a Division One. That's a Division One rule. It hasn't.
Okay.
It hasn't come down to the Division Two
All
yet.
right.
And yes, there is, and that's something that I think any Division II coach, if you ask them, they would love to have that rule. So
I do like that.
My hope is that you get it in another year or two, but unfortunately, at the Division II level, it takes a little bit longer to get those rules in place. The Division I, they can have an emergency cabinet meeting, and all of a sudden it's in place next week. It takes us a little bit longer to get those things going. So I think it'll happen. I think it'll just be in another year or two is all.
Yeah, when I first heard about that this summer, or whenever it was, I kind of like that. I had no idea.
No, absolutely, and it's really for these situations right now. I mean, I've got a starting senior quarterback that goes down, and I can't play my true freshman quarterback that I was hoping to save his red shirt, because if he gets in one single play, no matter what, that's his year. And if we had this red shirt rule, he could have played, whether he's better than the other guy or not, doesn't matter, but he could end up playing like all 4 games, and that wouldn't affect his red shirting. So unfortunately, that's the way it is at our level, and we gotta deal with it.
Bearcats football coach Mike Babcock is on the horn. So your Cats now stand at 2-2 in the Great Lakes Valley Conference, with Indy and 2 undefeated teams there. Indianapolis at 5-0 and Truman State at 4-0. And you lost a wild one to True State early in October.
Yeah, it's the only game that I've ever had 2 weather delays.
Really?
I've played in games and coached in games that have had a weather delay. But we actually had 2 lightning delays, and you can say what you want about coming in and out. After the first lightning delay, we were actually on point. We came back and did a nice job, but unfortunately, we just couldn't overcome it at the end, and they ended up winning by a touchdown. And unfortunately, it is what it is. It was a close game the whole time. We ended up with a lot of yards offensively. We just unfortunately couldn't handle them on defense, and then we also gave up a score on kickoff return. So it is what it is, and we had to move on.
As you said earlier, there are 3 league games left, 3 GLVC contests, and you still, well, it's homecoming this Saturday, so you're going to have a big crowd there for William Jewell and homecoming.
Yeah, that's my hope. I hope the weather can kind of turn out right. And it'll be a 1 o'clock game this Saturday in Lebanon on Lieben Field. And we always, and it's getting better and better each year, we always have a great, great crowd for homecoming. I mean, the parking lots are packed with tailgaters. You know, a lot of former players, including some from other sports, you know, decide to come on back and kind of enjoy the festivities. And this is a good ball club coming in here. So, and we're kind of enjoying the fact that we can have another home game. We've been on the road for the last 2 weeks. It's going to be kind of nice to kind of be at home, great crowd, great atmosphere, hopefully a great game, and hopefully a great victory as well.
Man, I'd still be reeling from that long trip to Murfreesboro, North Carolina. That's 12, 13 hours? How long was that?
Yeah, on the way back it was about a 14 and a half hour drive. So
Seemed
it's
longer.
My back is still needing some readjustment and alignment, I think. It doesn't even matter if you're on a charter bus, you know, just sitting down for that long is kind of hard, but it is what it is when you're at the D2 level. You got to find those games that are doable. It's a lot better to play a Division II team than it is an NAIA team, a D3 team, or even a FCS team. So sometimes.
Well, I know you're going to make the best of what's left here, Mike, and you haven't. It's a long, I guess, outside shot at second, but you definitely have an opportunity to nab third, especially since you have Missouri S&T on the plate.
Yeah, I think if we end up winning out, we could probably tie for second place, which I think would be a plus. We want a winning season. You know, right now we're 4-4. You know, so just to be able to finish out strong and have a winning season, especially from where we're at and where we started. We've been banged up, especially on defense. I've got probably 7 out of my top 10 players are out with injuries, you know, right now on defense. And it's just, unfortunately, that's the way it is. The bug kind of hit us on that side, and we were going to be young regardless. And it's just kind of, it is what it is. So, but if we can finish strong, we've got a great homecoming crowd this week. We've got a very good Missouri S&T team coming in here in 2 weeks to our place. That only has 1 loss at the D2 level. They've only lost to UND, so just like we have. But if we can win that one, and then obviously the last one on the road, I think we'll hopefully end the season right and really finish it with these seniors getting off on the right foot. And that's what I want. We got a lot of seniors this year, especially on offense. I want to leave them leaving on the right foot.
Yeah, that's always good for sure. Meanwhile, some of your young guys, you've been playing some. I know I've seen Tyler Seaver a couple times at some high school games recently. I believe he told me he's dressing, but has that changed? Has he played at all yet? The last time I talked to him, I don't think but he's dressing, isn't he?
We talked about earlier as far as redshirt.
Yeah.
You know, he'd probably be a guy that I would have no problems with throwing on special teams or throwing on, you know, offense to run down on, you know, at wide out. But if he plays in one play, that's it. And so we figured, you know what, let's try to save his year and let him have 4 straight years after this, and away we go. So, but he is a guy we're trying to redshirt this year.
We brought up, of course, Caleb Shipley, and there's Bennett Richter. And how about Peyton Rankin from Nashville? How's he doing?
Peyton, I think, has had a really good year. You know, unfortunately, the bad thing is about 2-3 weeks ago, he ended up going down with a foot injury, an ankle injury that's actually going to keep him out for the rest of the season.
Oh, man,
so,
okay.
Yeah, so it's a shame, and especially at a position where, you know, he's one of 3 guys at the exact same position that has actually gotten hurt and out for the season. So,
my goodness.
You know, now all of a sudden you're 0 for 3 and you're on your 4th guy, you know, trying to make do with what we're doing is tough. So that was a hard one, a hard pill to swallow with him going down, but he's a good kid, and hopefully with any luck, get him back next year.
He has one year left, doesn't he?
He does, you know, but with a lot of kids, especially at our level, Rip, you know, some guys end up hanging it up early just because they're done with school. You know, they've finished their 4 years. You know, they might want to start, you know, getting the jobs going. They understand that the off season is very, very tough, you know. So every now and then we've got kids
I think Peyton's still trying to decide. I think he's still in that mindset of, I still want to play, but at the same point, I don't want to get hurt.
Understand.
So we'll see. We'll see.
All right, Coach Babcock, thanks a lot. We'll be with you at the trail of the season. Okay, come on in if you want to again, and hopefully we'll be ringing up three more wins by then.
I'm expecting the mojo coming from your radio station right here, Rip, or whatever's going to put us over the top. I can guarantee it.
That should clinch it. All right, thanks.
Appreciate it, Rip.
That's Coach Mike Babcock of the McKendree Bearcats football team. Our thanks to him and also to Ray Calling from Wescott and Andy Newbold on Scores and Stuff. We'll see you Wednesday night between 6 and 7 on Talkin Sports, Real Sports Talk on Max 96.7 WCXO.
Talkin Sports was powered by Anne-Marie Tabin at First Bank in Breeze. Contact Anne-Marie for your mortgage product needs. Talkin Sports was brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City and Hoyleton. Diane Chevrolet in Trenton. Nordike Funeral Home with 5 locations to serve your needs. McKendree University in Lebanon. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. Trenton Processing. And by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Thank you for joining us for this WCXO sports presentation of Talkin Sports on Max 96.7. This broadcast was a presentation